Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second class of where we are discussing the question paper of International Financial Management for the September-October 2020. This is my session number two on the discussion of the same paper. If you have not gone, if you have not gone through my previous session, so first make sure that you see that session and then you come to solve this session, so that will make more sense to you. In my first session I have discussed the section A, and now I'm going to discuss the section B for the same. Question number 8 is all about a discussion about the structure of foreign exchange market, where you need to write the theory about how the foreign exchange market basically works. In that, you need to first discuss what is currency all about. Once you need to explain what is currency, how currency represent an economy, then you need to talk about the currency is always traded in pairs. Okay, so like $1 is equal to 73 rupees. Okay, so then if dollar appreciate, rupee depreciate, if dollar depreciate, rupee appreciate, how that gonna impact exporter and importers. So that part you need to talk about. You need to talk about it depends from economy to economy. Certain economy are export oriented economy, so they always want their currency to be depreciated more. While certain economy like India, they cannot allow the currency to be depreciated to very reasonable extent. Neither they can't allow the rupee to appreciate also beyond a reasonable extent, because the reason being is like if I talk about depreciation, so more the rupee will depreciate, more the service sectors companies will get benefit, because more than 56% of GDP we get from the service sector. But at the same time, you need to understand that more the rupee will depreciate, that means more the dollar will appreciate, and all the payments of oils what we import from the other countries we need to pay in dollar. So more the rupee will appreciate, more the dollar we need to pay. And you know that products like petrol, diesel, kerosene, all these are sell at the government determined price. So in because of which the oil marketing companies used to get lot of losses, and these losses are borne by the oil marketing company, because government of India issues government bond to them. So more the dollar will appreciate, more the losses they will get on day-to-day basis. So that way it's not good for the economy, because 80% of our energy requirement we import, and India is the second largest economy, and without energy you cannot think about any form of development. You cannot see any momentum in the economy without the development. Okay, so you need to talk about that part. You need to make us to understand the how the relationship of a currency with respect to the other currency are being appreciated or depreciated depending upon the inflation rate and interest rate. Talking about the relationship between inflation rate and the exchange rate, for that you need to explain the purchasing power parity model. While talking the relationship between interest rate and exchange rate, for that you need to talk about the interest rate parity model, covered interest rate parity model, uncovered interest rate parity model. You need to talk about international Fisher effect. Okay, so all this thing ultimately affects the movement of the currency. Whenever the central bank of the country interferes, that is called sterlization. We need to talk a little bit about sterlization. Okay, beyond discussing our sterlizations and all, you need to talk about whenever we talk currency, the majority of derivative market transactions in currencies done in OTC market. Hardly the traders or banks, they go to the exchange for any form of currency based trading. So currency based trading, it happens 24 hours into 365 days. So they are not dependent on exchanges for their trading part. And currency, you can understand their values changes every 4 seconds. So London is the largest hub of the currency transaction in the world. After London, New York, after New York, Tokyo. In India, the largest transaction happens in Mumbai. So all these you need to talk about. MIBOR, London Interbank offer rate, Mumbai Interbank offer rate. Then if you can talk about forward contract, interest rate swap, currency swap, you need to talk more about that. Then if you can talk about the currency futures and currency options, which is being traded over the NSE, National Stock Exchange. 12 types of contracts are there: 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month. 12 types of contract. All these contracts they settles on the last business day of every month. Then if you can discuss the cost of carry model, for the currency futures, you can discuss the Black-Scholes model for the currency future, currency options, all that you can discuss. Then for trading part of currency, you can discuss the relevance of currencies in the term of translation, transaction, economic exposures. You can talk about the relevance of currencies in the term of multinational capital budgeting, or discussing the different forms of exposures on currency, on translation, transaction, economic. All these you can discuss. You can talk about the different forms of whenever the funds is being raised. You can talk about certain aspect of balance of payment also here. So all that you can discuss. Okay, so that will make more sense to you. Now talking about this question number 9. So you can see this question number 9. So an exporter is exporting 100 articles. An exporter is exporting 100 articles at the cost of $80. Okay, and importing 100 units of raw material at 20 euro or pound, euro I guess, yeah, euro, and he incurs other variable expenses of rupees 35,000 rupees at the time of entering the contract. So I can write this. So the selling price per unit, so the selling price per unit is $80. Selling price per unit is $80, and the number of units number of units is 100. Okay, so with this you can generate the revenue. So the revenue you got, then $8,000 you got the revenue. So you can talk about the same revenue in the term of rupees. 8,000 depending upon the exchange rate. We'll talk about that later on. Then okay, then variable cost per unit is given. Variable cost per unit is given. That is given as 20 euro. Okay, so I'll multiply. Okay, 20 euro. Okay, so the total variable cost I can determine, that will be uh, that will be 20 into 100. So that would be 2000 euro. Okay, so that would be 2000 euro. So again I can convert that into rupees. Okay, so 2000 euro I'll convert into rupee depending upon the exchange rate. So I'll take the exchange rate. You can see revenue is in dollar and variable cost is in euro. So if you subtract the variable cost from the revenue, you get contribution. So you get contribution. So you can talk about contribution. Okay. Then after that, then other variable expenses 35,000 rupees. Then from this you can subtract other variable expenses also. Other variable expenses also. Other variable expenses. So you can subtract other variable expenses. That is 35,000 rupees. That is 35,000 rupees. Fine. So then what else is mentioned? The exchange rate is 71.5 at the time of export. So exchange rate is 71.5. So 8,000. Uh, so the exchange rate is 71.5. 71.5 at the time of export. So you get the revenue at the time of export only. So 71.5, if you multiply 8,000 into 71.5. Uh, so so 8,000 into 71.5 is is rupees is rupees 5 lakh 72,000, 5 lakh 72,000, 5 lakh 72,000 rupees. Okay, so you got this revenue 5 lakh 72,000. Okay, so your revenue is 5,72,000. So you took at the time of export, so you'll take the exchange rate at the time of export only. So then exchange rate is and at the time of export, at the time of and the exchange rate is 17.5. Okay, okay. So the exchange rate is 71.5 at the time of entering the contract and 70 at the time of export. And at the time of export it is 70, sorry. So at the time of export it is 70. At the time of export this is 70. So at the time of export this is 70. So 70 rupees per dollar. So this is 70. This is 56 and then 40. 1 so 40 this much rupees. So this is this. Okay, so this is at that because yeah, I hope you understand common sense. So here, whenever we talk about revenue, so here the revenue you need to consider like when you entering into the contract, what is the value of dollar and rupee? That doesn't matter, no. At the time when you bought 100 unit, so you bought 100 unit in euro, and at that time whatever was the dollar exchange rate, that doesn't matter here. What matters here that at the time when you're selling, what is the exchange rate? I hope you understand me. So this much rupee you get, uh, and here at then and at and while rupee euro at the time of order is 60 and at the time of export, so at the because here to you are ordering, no, at the time of order it is 60 rupees per euro. It is 60 rupees per euro. So this is 60, this is 60, this is 12, then 40, this is 40, so this is 1,20,000. This is 5,60,000. Okay, so here what matters, how much you get, 4,40,000. So this is the contribution in rupees. I hope you're understanding very. So the exchange rate, if you understand the exchange rate, when you're buying, you will take the exchange rate at on that time, not the exchange rate of the export. I hope you're understanding the basic logic. And the other variable expenses is 35,000. So other variable expenses is 35,000. So if you subtract the 35,000 rupees from there, so you'll get the operating profit. So your operating profit is 4,40,000, then 35,000. So this is 4,05,000. So this is 4,05,000 rupees. So this is your operating profit. Okay. So this is 4,05,000 rupees. You got this as a operating profit. Right, oh, fine. So very easy. Nothing as such is there. Basic common sense required for solving the problem. Now, the next thing, guys, if you are trying to analyze the transaction exposure and all, so then you can think about the opportunity data. You can talk about if I talk about the opportunity cost data. So if I talk about the opportunity cost data, because you're talking in different currencies, so opportunity cost data, so timing matters. Like, so if I talk about opportunity profit, opportunity profit, so opportunity profit, why I'm discussing here, because I hope you understand that if I talk about dollar rupee contract, if I talk about dollar rupee contract, so here the two event is given at the time of entering the contract. Two things are given, not at the time of not entering. It is given at, oh yeah, at the time of entering the contract and at the time of export. So two data is given to you. Similarly for rupee, euro, two values are given to you. Now, rupee dollar contract, if I talk about, the exchange rate was at the time of entering was 71.5 rupee per dollar, and at the time of export, it is 70 rupees. It is 70 rupees per dollar. Okay, so it is 70 rupees per dollar. Hmm. Then So while the euro at the time of order, while the euro at the time of order is 60 rupees per euro, and at the time of export it is 63 rupees per euro. It is 63 rupees per euro. Now, guys, you understand this is basically use of common sense, that in case of rupee dollar, what matters is the export. And in case of, because at the time of export, no, you export, that time only you generate the revenue. While for buying, what matters is the time that what you're buying, what is the exchange rate. Now, if you analyze this, if you analyze the exchange rate, if you see this, if you see the dollar, if I see euro, uh, if I talk about, before it was 71, then it is 60 at the time of entry. So here dollar is stronger than euro. Okay, so if I say euro in the term of dollar, if I talk about euro in the term of dollar, so it is 71.5 divided by 60. So euro 71.5 divided by 60, that is 1.19167, okay, euro per dollar at the time of entering into the contract, while at the time of exiting it is 70 divided by 63, that is 1.11 euro per dollar. So as you understand, as the time progressed, so your exchange rate before was $1 was, before it was 1.19167 euro, and later on $1 become 1.11 euro. Okay, so this is in beginning, this is in beginning, and then this, and at the time of export it become this. Okay, so it become 1.11 euro. So beginning it was 1.19167, and then at the time of export it become 1.11. Okay, so at the time of export it become 1.11. So as you I hope you understand. So that what is happening, dollar is depreciating. What is happening? Dollar is depreciating while euro is appreciating. So while euro is appreciating. Okay, so you need to understand here that you need to understand here that if you see the what is the percentage of depreciation, what is the percentage of dollar depreciation. So what is the percentage of dollar depreciation if I calculate that? So this is 1.19167 minus 1.11. So from 1 point, so divide by 1.19167 into 100. So dollar, how much it depreciated? 6.85%. Nearly the dollar depreciated by 6.85%. So dollar depreciated by 6.85%, while euro appreciated by 6.85%, whatever you can say. Okay, so the thing what you need to understand is that the revenue what you're getting the revenue in dollar. Okay, so if dollar will depreciate, means your possibility of earning revenue will will decrease, while if euro will appreciate, it means your cost is increasing. I hope you are understanding. So the thing should be other way wise. The thing should be other way, that for your business it would be ideal, if dollar will appreciate and euro will depreciate, but it's happening reverse. It is happening reverse. You need to understand that. Now if I talk about transaction exposure, what are the transaction economic exposure? So transactions exposure such, if I talk about, so this would be the value of transaction exposure. Okay, so there's no point of discussing here at the time when you're entering in the contract. If I take that exchange rate at the time when you're exiting the contract, so when you enter the contract, why should I take the exchange rate of that in dollar rupee value? So that doesn't make much sense for me. So opportunity, if I can talk in the term of opportunity, so here you can see. So here at the time of entering, this was the exchange rate, and then it become this much. So imagine if this remained the same, then I would have gained how much? 1.5 rupees gain, no? 1.70, 1.5 minus 70. So it went from 71.5 become 70. So I got an opportunity loss of 1.5 on opportunity loss of 1.5 on 100 unit, no? On 100 unit. So 1.5 into 100. So I got a opportunity loss of how much? 150. 1.5 into 100, 150 rupees. You can say I got a loss here. So 1.5 into 100. 1.5. 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. Hmm. Okay, and then one is a $80, no? $80, 100 unit, and okay, and so 8,000. I should multiply with 8,000, not with 100. So better should multiply with 8,000. Better I should multiply it with 8,000. So 1.5 into 8,000. So this is 1.5 into 8,000 means 15 into 800. So 15 8s are 120, then 20. So this is uh, 12,000. So you got an opportunity loss of 12,000. So you got an opportunity loss of 12,000. You got a opportunity loss of 12,000 rupees. Is opportunity loss of 12,000 rupees. Okay, I hope you're understanding. Now, talking about variable cost, you're considering this. Okay, and if this become this, if this become this, so this, if, so this if from 60, if become 63, again you get a loss, no? So because you this is the cost for you, so this should not appreciate, cost should not appreciate. So again you get opportunity loss of 63 minus 60 into 8,000. 1 minute, 1 minute, let me, 1 minute. Uh, so I consider this for 70. Okay, so if it happened 71.5 would have, so that would have been better for me. Now this I am considering for 60, and this I'm considering for 60. And if it becomes 63, so if it becomes 63, then my cost would increase, no? 63 into 8,000. Now it is 60 into 8,000. So my cost would have increased. So it's good for me, sorry. So this is good for me. So then this is 63. So this is 63 minus 60 into 8,000. So this is 3 into 8,000. This is 24,000 is the opportunity gain. Okay, so before it was 12,000 loss, this is 24,000 profit. Okay, so this way it is opportunity gain is 24,000. So if you talk about transaction exposure, if I talk about transaction exposure, so in the term of if I in the term of what you say opportunity cost, if I talk in the term of opportunity cost, so before opportunity cost was 12,000. So cost means, okay, so opportunity cost should not be the correct word. Opportunity value or something I should write, because cost, if I'm saying, then it should be negative data. So this should be minus 12,000 plus 24,000. There's a gain of 12,000 rupees, because you see, no, because if you see here, the here because it is not 71.5, it becomes 70. So how much losses you are getting? 71.5 minus 70 divided by 71.5 into 100. While here, what gain you are getting? So the gain you are getting 60 minus 63 minus 60 into 60. Okay. into 100. Hmm. So from this it is not 63, it is 60. So you're considering that value. So considering, what should I consider as a base value? Entering and export. So okay, on the basis 71.5 here, entering I should, okay, fine. So yeah, so you can take this value into consideration. This is 1.5 divided by 71.5 into 100. So you can see the, here you're getting a loss of how much in the term of percentage because of currency movement. So that is 150. 150 divided by 71.5, that is minus of 2.097 percentage. While if you see the gain here, 3 by 60, 3 by 60 matlab 1 by 20, 1 by 20 into 100 matlab 5% you are getting gain here, while here you're getting a loss of minus 2.097. So overall you are getting you are getting positive only. So overall your opportunity value is positive only. Okay, then the next thing what is mentioned in this question is that okay, so if the price elasticity of good is 1.5, so everyone knows the basic economics, that if price elasticity of demand or good is less than 1, then the product is inelastic. While if the price elastic of good is more than 1, it means the product is elastic. And if when we talk about price elasticity of demand formula, that is basically the percentage change in demand divided by the percentage change in price. So that means here the percentage change in demand is like 150% more in negative order in the percentage change in price. So if you increase the price maybe by 10 percentage, your demand will fall down by 15 percentage. Okay, so if you increase the price by 10 percentage, your demand will fall down by 15 percentage. Like that, you can understand. So if you increase the price by 1%, your demand will fall down by 1.5 percentage. Okay, so now you know that if you try to increase the price, the demand will fall down. Uh, and so selling price is in dollar, and you can see in future in future the dollar is depreciating only while euro is appreciating. So more the dollar will depreciate, more the losses or the more the economic loss the company can face in the future, while more the euro will appreciate, more the economic loss the company will get because their cost will increase. So what the company should do, the company should shift they should change their model, that they should try, if this exchange rate remain like this constant, then they should try to sell their product in European countries, and they should try to buy the product they should buy the product from US. So if they buy the product from US and sell the product into European country, then they will get lot of benefit, while in this case their problem will get magnified. And here if you see that if they will try to increase the price maybe by 10 percentage, if I make selling price 88, okay, so if you increase the price by 10 percentage, your number of unit will fall down by 15 percentage, means your number of unit will become 85. Okay, so that consideration, that consideration, you need to also consider while analyzing this aspect. You need to see that part also. So if I talk about here, if I talk about here, the selling price here. If I talk about the selling price per unit, so the selling price per unit. So if I increase the selling price, because the price elasticity of demand is 1.5, so if I make the selling price to be increased by 10%. If I increase the selling price by 10%, so if I make the selling price 88, if I increase the selling price by 10%, so automatically the number of unit will decrease by 15%. So the number of units uh, will decrease by 15%, means 100 units will become 85 units. Okay, fine. So that's the selling price. So so the revenue, so this is the revenue in dollar. This is the revenue what you get in dollar. Okay, so this is the revenue what you get in dollar. This is the revenue what you're getting in dollar. So then variable cost per unit. Then the variable cost per unit. So you are increasing the price now. So the increasing in price. So variable cost also I increase by 10%. So because selling price I increase because price I'm talking about. So which price, that part I cannot be sure about that. So selling price if I increase by 10% now, 20 become 22. Become 20. So the total variable cost becomes 22 into 85. This is in euro. This is in euro. So you understood this, right? So so here the exchange rate what I can consider. So here the exchange rate what I can consider. So so the exchange rate what I can consider. So the exchange rate what I can consider here is at the time of export, that is 70 and 60. So this is 70. This is 60. So the value in rupees if you want, value in rupees if you want. Okay, so this is the value rupees you'll get. Other variable expenses that is constant only, that doesn't matter. Other variable expenses that is constant only, that is how much? Other variable expenses that is 35,000. So you can calculate your profit. So this is your profit in this case. So we consider this case. We consider this case if the price increase and the selling price decrease. So if price increase by 10% and demand decreased by 15%, because price elasticity of demand is okay. So the price elasticity of demand is decreased. So you understood this. Now same calculation I can do other way. Hmm. So if the price decrease by 10%, so 10% is 10% is 8, so it becomes 72. Hmm. And this increase by 15% means 115. Hmm. And this variable cost, this is also decreased. It was how much earlier? Variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit, that was 20, no? So if that decrease, so 20, so that become 18. Hmm. So guys, now you can see the impact of this. Now you can see the impact of this. So you can see the price is increasing, and so you know that, so it can anything. If the price increase by 10%, demand decrease by 15%. So then this is your profit, 3,76,400. While if the price decrease by 10%, demand increase by 15%, then this is your profit. So this is your economic exposure, so which talks about the long-term potential for the company. And looking at the scenario, what I can see, looking at the scenario, what I can see, so we can understand the similar momentum in the likely future. Whenever we are trying to analyze the situation, we can see the similar momentum, like what can happen to the firm in the likely future. We can expect the similar change in this. So this is something which we need to consider in this problem. So when I see this problem, so if the price elasticity of good is 1.5, what are the transaction and economic exposure? So this understanding, if we realize, and then you know that definitely that there is a chance where it will impact their profit potential. If you see here, their profit is 4,05,000. No? So their profit is 4,05,000. So you can see in normal condition, their profit is 4,05,000. So under a normal condition, if I talk about profit under normal condition, so under normal condition, you see the profit that is 4,05,000. While scenario one, so this is scenario one. This is scenario two. So you can analyze this condition like this way. So under scenario one, whatever is given, then your profit is this, profit, then your profit is this much, 4,05,000. While in scenario one, if you are expecting the price to increase and the demand to decrease, so what do you expect? What can happen? Because as you see that the dollar is gonna depreciate while euro will appreciate, automatically the demand will decrease. No, you use your common sense and try to understand that gradually, if this exchange rate momentum, like whatever what you see, if that will continue like this, if the dollar keep on depreciating while euro if it keep on appreciating, then definitely I expect that the then definitely I expect that in likely future the company have to decrease their price while they have to increase their demand. So the likely profit what I'm expecting is scenario two. This is what I'm expecting right now is scenario two. So the likely scenario, because this is what I'm expecting. So what am my expectation about the future is scenario two. So because as the dollar will keep on depreciating, definitely the revenue side pressure will be built up on the company because of more dollar is depreciating. Uh, so if dollar will depreciate while euro will keep on appreciating. So the thing what we need to understand here that what is the rate of increase or decrease. So what we are expecting that to be. So how we can see that scenario to be developed. So how we can see that scenario to be developed. That is something which we need to consider here. So how that scenario will ultimately impact it. So your profit, which is right now at 4,05,000, I'm expecting it to become 4,20,000. So which is good for the company in the long run. So in the long run, depreciation of dollar while the appreciation of euro is good for the in long run. Fine, because you need to understand here, you need to understand, you need to understand here the scenario. You need to understand here the scenario that because when you see that a dollar is when you see the dollar is depreciating, so the percentage of decrease in dollar depreciation is hardly 2.097%. But when you see the euro appreciation, here you can see the euro appreciated by 5%. So it's good because you are considering the euro value of the entering of the contract. Okay, so you are considering that as the entering of the contract. Okay, so you're considering 60 as the value. You're not considering the export value. So although from the you see this, although from here you get the loss because because the dollar depreciated, because the loss what you get from the dollar depreciation, that loss what you're getting from the dollar depreciation is less than the profit what you're getting from the euro appreciation. So that way overall like it is impacting the company is in much more positive way only. So if you see in the long run, if this trend continue, then the depreciation dollar will appreciation euro will is good for the company in the long run. I hope you understood this. Fine. So see the next question, question number 10. This is question is about interest rate swap. You see this question, the two companies are there. So whenever we talk about interest rate swap, this is the problem on interest rate swap. So whenever I talk about interest rate swap, so whenever I talk about interest rate swap problem, so in the case of interest rate swap, here you can see the principle that is called notional amount. So this principle is called as notional amount. So when you talk about this principle, that principle does not play any role as such in the transaction process. This value, that $20 million, this value is basically just used for the calculation part of the percentage into absolute value part. So that is what required here. So here two companies are there. So you can see company A and company B. So two companies are there, company A, and then you have company B. You have two company A, and then you have company B. So the fixed rate is given to you, fixed rate, and then floating rate, fixed rate, and then floating rate is given to you. So fixed rate is 15%. So this is 16.5%. Floating rate is LIBOR plus 0.3%. This is LIBOR plus 0.5%. This is LIBOR plus 0.5%. So what you can do, you can find the interest rate differential. You can find the interest rate differential. You can find the interest rate differential in the term of basis point. 1% is equal to 100 basis points. So this is 150 basis point, and this is 20 basis point. This is 20 basis point. So net interest rate differential, net interest rate differential, net interest rate differential is equal to net interest rate differential is equal to 130 basis point. So 150 minus 20. Okay, and then you see in this problem there's a financial intermediary that will charge 20 basis point. Okay, so the net interest rate differential is 130 basis point. From that financial intermediary commission, so that is 20 basis point. Okay, so ultimately net interest rate differential after adjustment of financial intermediary, that is around 110 basis point. Okay, so now you see two parties are involving in swap agreement. So company A and company B, if you see the exchange rate mechanism, because of which you can say that company A will take fixed interest rate, because out of company A and company B, by looking at the interest rate, you can understand that the company A definitely is having better credit rating. So the company A can either access fixed rate also, it can access either the floating rate also. But if you see the interest rate differential, that is more in fixed rate. So the company A will go for fixed rate borrowing, while if company A will go for fixed rate borrowing, then the swap agreement cannot be fixed. So interest rate swap cannot be fixed. Two party cannot take fixed interest rate borrowing to get into the swap contract. So if one is considering the fixed interest rate, definitely the other should consider the floating interest rate. So if the company A is going for fixed interest rate borrowing, then the company B will have to go for floating interest rate borrowing at LIBOR plus 0.5%. Then only they can go into the interest rate swap agreement. So where the company A will borrow at 15% and it will pay floating interest rate, while company B has borrowed at floating interest rate and it will pay a fixed interest rate. So I hope you understood. So because the two parties are going through the swap agreement, so the reason of getting into the swap agreement is somewhat like a symbiotic relationship, what we study in biology. So where the two parties, both of them should get mutually benefited. So you can see here net interest rate differential is 110 basis point. So because of swap, agreement, each party will get how much benefit? Each bank, or what bank is, or what company. So each company will get how much benefit? Will get how much? 110 divided by 255 basis point benefit. Okay, they will get this much benefit. Okay, so once you understood this, then what I can do, I can find the opportunity cost. I can find the opportunity cost of company A. So the opportunity cost of company A, if I try to find opportunity cost of company A, if I try to find, so opportunity company A is borrowing at 15%. So the opportunity cost would be the if would have bought at LIBOR plus 0.3%. So the opportunity cost, net opportunity cost would be a better word. That would be LIBOR plus 0.3%, LIBOR plus 0.3%. In that, subtract the 55 basis point benefit, so minus 55 basis point benefit. So you get opportunity cost as LIBOR minus 0.25%. Okay, while similarly do the net opportunity cost calculation. Net opportunity cost of company B, net opportunity cost of company B, that will be net opportunity cost of company B, that will be 16.5%, 16.5% minus 55 basis point benefit. So 55 basis point benefit. So this is 55, 5 gone, then again 5, 15.95. 15.95 plus 0.05, 16, then 16. Net opportunity cost of company B would be this much. Okay, you understood this much? Fine. So you need to calculate the net opportunity cost for both of the company. So once you got that calculation, then you can set the swap agreement. So this is company A. The company A is borrowing at 15%. The company A is borrowing at 15%. Okay, then it will pay what it will pay floating interest rate to the company B. Okay, the company B is borrowing at LIBOR plus 0.5%. LIBOR plus 0.5% is borrowing at LIBOR plus 0.5%. Okay, and is paying fixed interest rate. Suppose it's paying X% interest and will charge 0.2% commission. So he will get X minus 0.2%. Well, suppose company A is paying a floating interest rate of LIBOR. Okay, fine. So you understood this. So I'm just assuming to set the swap agreement, to set the swap agreement, to set the swap agreement. Let the floating interest rate, let the floating interest rate which company A pays to company B, pays to company B, which company A pays to company B is LIBOR. Okay, London Interbank Offer Rate. If you don't know about LIBOR, you can study about LIBOR, how LIBOR works. So let the floating interest rate what the company A pays to company B is LIBOR, while the fixed interest rate, which company B, pays to company A, is suppose X%. So see, understand, in this equation, I cannot take two variables unknown. So that's why I assume one variable is LIBOR, floating interest rate LIBOR. You can take LIBOR plus 30 basis point, 80 basis, you can take anything. So the way you change the LIBOR, automatically the fixed interest rate will change. You got it, right? Now you know that net opportunity cost of company A is Libor minus 0.25%. Okay, if you see the setup of company A, so if you see for company A, if you see the setup of company A, if you see the setup of company A, the company A is paying 15% fixed interest rate. Company A is paying Libor, and the company A is receiving X minus 0.2%. Okay, from the company B. Although company B is paying X percentage, but 20 basis point is the financial intermediary commission. Okay, so with this, if I do the calculation, so what is the net opportunity cost of company A? Net opportunity cost of company A, that is already given to us. So that is, if I talk in the term of cost, so all cost with plus sign, and means cost means payable, all payable with plus sign and receivable with minus sign. Okay, so I'm talking in that sense. Okay. So here you're paying 15%, you're paying Libor, and you're receiving X minus 0.2%. And the net cost for you, net cost of you is how much? Libor minus 0.25%. Libor minus 0.25%. So cancel Libor and Libor. You can cancel Libor and Libor. So 15% minus X% plus 0.2% is minus 0.25%. So the value of 15 plus 0.2 plus 0.25, that gives you the value of X percentage. So this is 15.45%. This is the X value. This is the X value. So the X value is 15.45%. Now, if my calculation is correct, then this 15.45 should set up correctly for the company B. Now, if you talk about company B, if you talk about company B, if you talk about company B, they are paying, how much they're paying? Libor plus 0.5%. So company B is paying Libor plus 0.5%. They are receiving Libor from company A, and they're paying X percentage fixed interest rate. Okay, and the net opportunity cost is how much? The net opportunity cost of company B is 15.95. 15.95. So the net opportunity cost is 15.95. So again the same thing, all payable with plus sign, all payable with plus sign, and receivable with negative sign, and all receivable with negative sign, all receivable with negative sign. So Libor, they are paying Libor plus 0.5%. They are paying X, so they're paying X, okay, and they're receiving Libor, okay. So Libor get cancelled. So the net cost is X plus 0.5%. Okay, so X value already I calculated. X is 15.45. So you know that since X calculated is 15.45%, the net cost of B is equal to 15.45% plus 0.5%, that is equal to 15.95%. Okay, that is equal to what we already got. So that is equal to this. Okay, so this means the swap setup what I did is correct, and this is the way how it need to be done. Okay, so this is the problem. This is the way this setup should be done. Okay, so I hope you understood this. So this is the swap agreement. So the final swap agreement, if you want to do, so this is company A. Company A is paying 15%. Okay, the company A is paying Libor. Okay, and financial intermediary is there. Okay, this is the final setup. So this is B is there, B receiving labor, and B is paying how much? Labor plus 0.5%. B is paying labor plus 0.5%. Okay, and B is paying how much? B is paying X percent. X percent is how much? X percent is 15.45. So B is paying 15.45. So B is paying 15.45. 0.25% commission it takes. So A is receiving 15.25%. So this is the final labor setup. So this is the final setup. This is the final setup for this problem. So I hope you understood this. So this much for this second class. So I very soon I'll make the third session video where we'll discuss the further questions beyond question number 10. So in next class we'll do 11 and 12 questions which are related to the hedging parts. Okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this class. Thank you everyone. God bless you. Bye. So if you like the class, please don't forget to click on the like button. And if you have not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you everyone. God bless you.